Before the video gets started, I want to just let you know this is not a technical review of the camera app. I'm going to try to keep it real down to earth and not use a lot of technical terminology to describe the experience of using the new iPhone 13 Pro camera app, because really I think like what the iPhone 13 Pro does is it can bring a professional-ish DSLR kind of quality to users that don't have a lot of experience using a DSLR. And rather than them going out to buy a DSLR, this video is kind of going to make the case that they should probably just stick with the iPhone 13 Pro. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? My name's Eric and I'm the Techie Agent. Welcome to my homestead. Today we're taking a look at the iPhone 13 Pro and we're asking ourselves the question, is the iPhone 13 Pro a DSLR killer? How does this camera on this phone compete against a quote-unquote professional camera that's used for taking photos and videos? Now, by way of experiment, today we're going to be recording this entire episode on my iPhone 13, which is actually what is recording this video right now. I've actually got my lapel mic plugged into an adapter on the lightning port, and actually I did not have it plugged in. More on that in a moment. And we're going to, again, just film this entire episode using the iPhone 13 Pro to see how it compares against a DSLR and ask ourselves the question, is this a DSLR killer? Let's get to it. Whoa, just in time. Let's talk about audio first. On the last clip that you just saw, I thought that I had my lapel mic turned on. It turned out that I didn't, and all of the audio that was being captured was from the microphone on the camera. Or I should say microphones. The iPhone has multiple microphones on it that allow it to get kind of a wide dynamic range of audio, and it really does a great job collecting audio right on the camera compared to a lot of the really crappy audio solutions that are on native DSLRs. In fact, what you're hearing right now is the camera using the onboard microphones to record my voice. What you're hearing right now is totally unedited audio. Now let's go ahead and switch back to the edited audio. So as you can see, if you have a little bit of know-how, you can actually take the audio that's being recorded right on the camera and really make it pop, really make it sound good without using any off-board, external microphones. So that is kind of a win for the iPhone 13 compared to a lot of DSLRs that are on the market with just terrible native audio solutions on board. The other advantage that the iPhone 13 Pro has over a DSLR is artificial intelligence that allows it to get a wide dynamic range. So you're seeing HDR footage, high dynamic range footage, and you're seeing here to my left a window with a lot of light coming in, but it's properly exposing the light that's coming in through the window. Compared to a DSLR, where in a room like this where it's a little bit dark and you have a lot of light outside, it would tend to try to kind of properly expose the interior and overexpose the exterior. With the iPhone 13 Pro, it's got built-in algorithms that allow it to capture a wide dynamic range where I'm properly exposed and the exterior is properly exposed. This is a feature that's simply not going to be on just about every DSLR on the market. It's not going to have artificial intelligence that knows how to properly expose for an exterior and an interior at the same time. Now, there are DSLR cameras that just natively have a very wide dynamic range, but it takes a lot of work to get an image like what you're seeing right now, whereas this is just happening natively on the camera without me doing anything. This is the native image. I don't have to do any work. I don't have to know how to process a high dynamic range video. It just does it for me, and it looks and it sounds really good. And by the way, this is the front-facing camera. We haven't even gotten to the good cameras yet. So let me just take a moment to share some actual samples of photos and videos that I took using the native camera app right on the iPhone 13 Pro. For context, I've owned every single iPhone for the last 5 years, and I've always bought the highest end iPhone, and this is by far the biggest jump in terms of camera quality that I've personally ever seen. The pictures that are coming from this camera are absolutely stunning. None of the content that you're seeing here has been edited using an external photo or video editor. All of it was done in camera using the native camera app. For those of you unfamiliar with the camera app, you can obviously take photos and videos. You can also enter into a time-lapse mode or a slow motion mode. There is also a cinematic mode, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. You've got a portrait mode and you've got a pan mode that allows you to get a very wide image that's stitched together in camera. So we'll talk about some of these different modes, and in particular, we'll kind of talk about the cinematic mode, since that's something that's new to the iPhone 13. So quite simply, what the cinematic mode does is it allows you to get that background blur called bokeh or bokeh, depending on what you want to call it, but it allows you to get that cinematic look that you would get from a cinematic camera or a DSLR. It also allows the camera app to automatically adjust and choose who or what subject is in focus, and you also have the ability to manually select who is in focus as well. And I gotta say, the naysayers out there say it doesn't always work, and that's true. About 10% of the time, you might get a little bit of a glitch, but 90% of the time it pulls it off really well. And here's the other thing. It allows you to choose how much of that effect, how much of that blur you have at any given moment in post. So you can select that effect after you've already recorded the video, which is really cool and something you can never do on a DSLR. Now let's go ahead and talk about the macro capabilities of the iPhone 13 Pro. The lenses on this now have the ability to focus in on objects that are very, very close to the lens. This is something that is new to the iPhone 13 Pro. No previous generation has allowed the macro capabilities that this camera has. So there's a quarter, and here's a quarter a little bit closer up, and then here is a quarter a lot closer. You can really zoom in and get amazing close-up detail from this. In fact, doctors are now using this to look at patients' eyes. So you have optometrists that are now using this to look into patients' eyes in order to diagnose eye health. And I literally did this in my bathroom, just kind of turning the camera around and looking in the mirror to make sure I was properly focused in on my eye. It's kind of creepy and gross, but it's also surreal that we have camera technology that is this good on a phone. The other thing you're getting from the iPhone 13 Pro is optical and digital image stabilization that really allows you to get steady video shots like this. So I'm not trying to be super careful right now. I'm just trying to walk, just trying to hold it as I walk so you guys can see how smooth video is. So welcome to my farm, okay? So let's go ahead and test the running capabilities here. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's try it again. So that's what you can expect hand holding the iPhone. Let's say hi to the chicken. Don't peck my phone. No, it's new. Why would you do that? Don't peck my phone. Just because it's shiny and cool looking? How dare you? So is the iPhone 13 Pro a DSLR killer? Well, not exactly. You're still going to get the best image quality from a DSLR compared to the iPhone 13 Pro. That said, I think that the iPhone 13 Pro gets 90% of the way there, and it's going to make more sense for the vast majority of people, and even possibly some professionals, to explore the idea of using an iPhone 13 Pro and ditching the DSLR. And I would say that that's especially true for those that are using DSLRs to live stream content. If you're live streaming, it just makes a lot of sense to use an iPhone 13 Pro because it's got a built-in, ability to broadcast to YouTube or to other platforms where you don't have to interface with a computer and a video capture card and all of the other things that would come along with broadcasting using a DSLR. So I'm not saying that I'm going to ditch my DSLR. What I am saying is that I'm probably going to reach for my iPhone 13 Pro 9 times out of 10 when it used to be probably 50-50. And I really think that the way that things are progressing, we probably will be ditching our DSLRs here in the near future. Hey guys, my name is Eric and I'm the Techie Agent. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.